the team dug into some of the data around past government shutdowns to give us context into what's happening, into the size of the moves and what to expect, or at least based on past performance. Can't really expect future performance to be the same.
That's correct.
Here's some data on past government shutdowns. So let's go to the first slide here. So in the past 50 years, the U.S. has experienced 21 federal government shutdowns. Most were short-lived, but several caused significant economic disruptions. The most severe shutdown occurred during major political standoffs, so often slowing the economy, pausing government services, and delaying key data. So these are the last ones that we've had. So we have 2025, which is right now, happening now, a whole bunch of stuff. You know, you probably can't even fit all the reasons in this little, this one little column, but here's kind of the bigger newsworthy headline reasons. So we had one during Trump's term, first term. You had Obama and you had Clinton and Carter in there too. And this is the number of days that we've been in those shutdowns. So 34 being the longest, which was Trump's last term here. Of course,
Trump's first presidency, yeah.
Yes. So of course, this one is to be determined.
Day one.
Yes, day one.
Day one.
Finally got a day one. So the next slide here, workforce impact. So we've focused on the two most recent government shutdowns, 2013 and then the 2018, 2019 to draw insights for 2025. Shutdowns quickly lead to furloughs and delayed paychecks, as Vanetta was talking about. Longer shutdowns can also affect workforce planning and slowing down rehiring. So here's a number of days. You see all the employees that are affected. Obviously, you know, not a great situation for all parties involved.
No, never fun. Never a good conversation. This is almost like having a conversation with your wife or say, we got to stop with the Amazon.
Yeah, the Amazon.
I can't have another package.
Is that how you're going to do it? You're going to say, you know, in support of the government workers, we're doing no more Amazon shipments until the government shutdown is ended.
In solidarity with the government shutdown. We'll see if that goes over.
Vinny, sorry, you can't order Uber Eats until the government comes back online.
Everybody got to feel the bite.
I know. No more Chipotle.
No more Chipotle.
So getting to the next slide here. So data policy and effects. So shutdowns delay the release of important economic reports. Some of the employment reports on Friday will not be released unless the government opens back up here. And so you can see some of the past reportings. Yeah, we had some delays on some of those and the effect that it had on GDP and whatnot. So just stuff to be aware of. This isn't like things that I'm trading on right now, but
yeah, I don't think you really
it's
can.
Just kind of like an FYI of what happens during a government shutdown.
Yeah, a lot of times people would think that, the bonds would go lower because the government doesn't have money to pay, and it's the full faith and obligation of the government to pay the bonds not backed by gold or crypto or anything else right now. And that's a good story, but it never comes to fruition. I mean, you got
bonds at 117.
Yeah. If bonds were to go down, a couple points, then you might have then I would say, oh, this shutdown is big news.
It's a bad
thing. Right. And if you saw volatility upticking, even the S&P is down 28, volatility up 5 or 6 cents.
Not moving. Tells you they're going to buy this dip on the open.
You know what? It's probably the prudent thing to do, but it's a tough pull.
It is a tough pull.
Those are always the best one.
I get it.
We'll see what we do with the 0 days too. So we'll go from there.
So the next slide here. So getting on to just more like stuff about, the shutdown here, the business impact. Government closures can delay contracts, permitting, and regulatory approval. Hopefully not the PDT rule. They better get that rubber stamp out and just get that thing moving. These disruptions can often affect small businesses, contractors, all that sort of stuff. So these are just some things that are going to be affected in the short term.
Yeah, you got quarterly payments due for IRS in September. Is it done already? Never mind.
Yeah, September.
Yeah, I was thinking it was September. Never mind.
Why you're not Social Security yet, are you?
No.
Oh.
Well, I think I could be. What's Social Security? I'm 63. What's Social Security?
I don't know. Man, you're old.
I know I'm ARP.
God. Oof. 63.
Next question.
Next slide, please. Next slide here. So travel and tourism is also affected.
As early as age 62.
Yeah, so travel, I know Vinata talked about TSA. That's something that can be affected. So maybe you see some movement in some of the airlines in the short term here.
Yeah, those are the essential workers.
These slides are a good indication of where you might see a little bit of short-term volatility. I mean, that's kind of what, these slides are meant to do is, point you in direction of things that might be affected in the short term. If you see big moves, I mean, like I can pull up UAL right now just to see where we're at. It's basically unchanged. Delta's up, UAL is down. I mean, so nothing is really affecting these.
So far, it's only day one, too.
Yes.
So it could be, but that's what I was talking about, like your essential workers who are going to get back pay. And I know that I was saying, they live paycheck to paycheck. I don't know if that's true or how many are or how many aren't or anything else like that. But if you're going to get back pay, and it sucks that you're not getting paid now, your essential worker, I think your obligation is to stay working. If you're a forest ranger and you're part of the government shutdown too, and they shut down the parks and they send you home, you stay home. You're not an essential worker. I don't understand. I know the essential workers want to speed it up by making it a little bit harder, and I get the logic behind that. But I think you open yourself up to, if they're cutting back, you open yourself up to issues. I would go to work. I mean, that's what I would do. Everybody has to do their own thing.
So here we're looking at market performance. So this is the slide everybody wants. So we analyze how the S&P 500 performed during each shutdown and how it behaved after the government reopened. So shutdowns typically trigger early declines and an increase in volatility. I guess you're getting a one-day decline today with the E-minis down 26. But it remains mixed for the first 2 weeks. Markets usually begin to stabilize and recover after 3 to 4 weeks. So ending in periods with strong gains. So you can see here, this is pretty mixed.
Yeah,
in terms of the overall picture. It's kind of bullish on the longer end, bearish on the shorter end. You have a little bit of chop in the middle. It's kind of telling you it's a buy the dip.
It's the way I remembered it. I mean, it really is, here's the first day you had a, 1.5% move, almost a 3% move in 2018. You only had 1 day higher. That's 2013. That would be under Trump again, right? I think so.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that
would be
2018 was Trump.
That would be Clinton. Right.
Yeah.
That was the only time you had it higher pretty much throughout the whole cycle. And the third week there had a little bit of a dip. But eventually, 4 weeks later, big moves higher.
Yeah.
On top, now listen, we're at all-time highs now. So I would expect that this will be the lowest 4-day return. This is my own opinion after the shutdown is over. I mean, again, I don't know, but that would be my guess. Volatility is telling you that it's going to be the biggest upturn.
It's going to be nothing.
And then you can go to the Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur whole thing. You're supposed to buy
Yom Kippur
Thursday.
It's
today.
Fasting today.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You say right. Like you.
I mean, I know.
Yeah.
Been involved.
So there's your moves. We
Yom
got
Kippur by osmosis.
By osmosis. There you go.
All right. Well, there's what do you do with this info?
I got one more.
I know, but what do you do with that slide's info before we get to this?
Well, I think it tells the story that short term, it's a bearish situation. I mean, from the past 4, it's not like a huge data set, so you can't take, this isn't like a back test here, but you'd say if it's anything like the past couple that we've had in the 2000s and in my lifetime, I should say.
Yeah, sure, your lifetime.
They've been relatively bearish. I mean, it's been a short-term bearish positioning, and over a couple weeks, it's usually resolved and the market's higher. And
Very
that's
good.
what I would say. So, I said it. I think it's a dip opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So the next slide here. So market has historically shown resilience after government shutdowns end. So while short-term moves can be mixed, markets have tended to rebound over time. And so you can see, these after the shutdown ends, like once you get the announcement that government's coming back online, which I'm sure it'll happen at some point, you see some pretty good returns there, especially over the longer duration, which is inherently skewed to the upside because over time things usually go up.
That is correct.
last slide here, a couple takeaways, and then we'll get to.
So this might be your only time to buy the dip from that last slides or so.
I mean, vol is up 6 ticks.
6 cents, yeah, tiny.
It's not telling you that nobody's freaking out here on a 28
Not yet.
down move. Not yet.
Then you can get a tweet or something like that gets real angry by Trump or anybody else, and then all of a sudden you get
markets discounted Trump. Trump's like
the tweets aren't as I agree.
It's like the Pfizer thing, Pfizer selling it at cost to the government sounds like it's super bearish, but it's not happening for 4 years.
Right.
It can kick it.
It can. All right.
So takeaway, shutdowns affect federal workers, economic data, and business quickly. Markets often fall and volatility rises in the early days of the government shutdown, but they usually start to recover after 3 to 4 weeks, especially after it reopens. So once the government reopens, stocks tend to rebound and go further in the following weeks and months. So
very nice. Good study by the team. Nothing.
It's the flop and pop, as you would say.
Flop and pop.
Not the pop and flop.
No, flop.
It's the flop, then pop.
Then pop.
Yeah.
Don't get it reversed. It's very dangerous.
Yes.
If you're not subscribed, subscribe right here. And if you want to meet me and the team in person at our next live event, hit the link at the top of the description.